welcome again to Not Fake News. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and smash that like button like Hillary does laptops and Blackberries. Halt! NSA surveillance indicates you are young, healthy, and have not yet enrolled in Obamacare. Magic Johnson and cute animal gifts must not be working. I don't know what that means. Alright, we have a bunch of breaking stories to get to, folks, so let's do this. First, Syrian refugee myth is busted. We're also going to go over Supreme Court Chief Justice has just flipped. Breaking, Huckabee just made an announcement on Secret Service interview with Kathy Griffin, and it's bad. The true identity of the man who shot the NYPD officer has just been revealed, and look who he is. Look which Kardashian just posted a revenge porn. Interesting. It's official. Look who the Secret Service just paid a visit to. We've just discovered who helped sponsor the Gitmo millionaire, and look who it is. The internet is furious. Look how they're responding to CNN. And finally, we're going to go over, look how many people and Americans back President Trump's travel ban. So let's get into this. Syrian refugee myth busted. Over 500,000 Syrian refugees have returned to government-controlled areas of Syria. Crucial to the Western narrative of the Syrian conflict is the assertion that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is a brutal dictator who has been taken to killing his own people over the course of Syria's 6-year-long conflict. This allegation has been the crux of the humanitarian justification for foreign military intervention in Syria that would seek to depose Assad's government, a justification frequently used by the U.S. and its allies prior to an invasion or the toppling of an extant regime. While the narrative has been pervasive in the media coverage of Syrian conflict, it is now being debunked by a very large Syrian refugees that the media purportedly were fleeing Assad in the first place. According to a recent statement from Andrej Mahecic, a spokesperson for the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, an estimated 440,000 displaced Syrians who remained in the country have returned to their homes since the year began. In addition, 31,000 refugees in neighboring countries have also returned to Syria in the first half of the year, with 260,000 having returned to Syria from other nations since 2015. I apologize for the way I'm chopping this up. UN Refugee Agency, almost 500,000 Syrian refugees have returned home. Find out why. Through Mahecic noted that these refugees represent only a fraction of the 5 million Syrian refugees living in neighboring countries. What is notable is that nearly all of those who have decided to come back are settling in areas of the Syrian controlled by the government or where the Syrian government has made major territorial gains against ISIS and U.S.-backed militants like al-Nusra Front in recent months, namely Aleppo, Hama, Homs, and Damascus. Even with the conflict in Syria still raging, thousands of displaced are eagerly returning to their homes under the control of Syrian government. This may seem strange as the U.S. media has long suggested that most refugees were fleeing Assad, not foreign-backed terrorists like Daesh, ISIS, and al-Nusra. Of course, this assertion was based on polls of refugees conducted by the Syrian Campaign, a USAID-funded organization that has long pushed for U.S. military intervention in Syria. This begs the question, why would refugees choose to return to territory controlled by the person they supposedly sought to flee, as the mainstream media portrays? These latest figures from the UN suggest that many refugees were not fleeing their government, aka Assad, but rather the violence caused by a foreign-funded insurgency intended to topple the popular Assad government. As Middle East Eye noted in 2015, prior to the outbreak of the conflict, Assad was widely popular, though his popularity allegedly evaporated as the 2011 Saudi and U.S.-funded uprising began. Did Assad's popularity with the Syrian people ever really go away? Western media reports containing interviews with a handful of Syrians who support Assad as dictator claims it is so. But the evidence has long suggested that the majority of Syrians have continued to approve of their president throughout the conflict. Wow. That was a long one, but it was very good. A Supreme Court Chief Justice has just flipped. Chief Justice John Roberts has reportedly changed his views on gay marriage, which he once strongly dissented against. TheDailyCaller.com, Chief Justice John Roberts, who just 2 years ago blasted the Supreme Court's decision to legalize same-sex marriage as an usurpation of democratic governance, seems to have embraced the court's marriage equality holding in significant part. The dissenters in contentious 5-4 decisions often try to keep such cases as the margins of the court's jurisprudence. They avoid reliance on the ruling's holdings and principles so as to diminish its influence on the court's thinking. Roberts is not following this practice with respect to the court's 2015 Obergefell v. Hodges decision, which declared a constitutional right to same-sex marriage. Though he wrote a vigorous dissent from the ruling, he joined two decisions this term, relying in part or in whole on its reasoning, suggesting a shift in his thinking about the case. The strongest signal of a shift came to the court's per curiam decision in Pavin v. Smith, an Arkansas case involving the state's refusal to print the name of a non-biological LGBT parent on a birth certificate. The justice summarily reversed the decision, the court's ruling upholding the practice, citing Obergefell's committed to provide the same-sex couples the constellation of benefits that states have linked to marriage. The opinion, which drew a short dissent from Justice Neil Gorsuch, Clarence Thomas, and Samuel Alito, appears to reveal the Chief's discomfort with extending state marriage benefits to same-sex couples. Summary reveal is a rare practice, generally save for obvious errors of law, in which the justice reversed a lower court without briefing an oral argument. It is often meant to communicate an unambiguous, unequivocal message to lower courts with respect to the particular issue. It is hard to imagine Roberts would endorse such a strong signal unless he is comfortable with the proposition that Obergefell secures a wide spectrum of rights and benefits for LGBT couples. Another one I butchered, I know. Huckabee just made an announcement on Secret Service interview with Kathy Griffin, and it's bad, guys. Governor Mike Huckabee made an announcement concerning the Secret Service interview with Kathy Griffin, and he didn't hold back on his humor. Secret Service interviewed Kathy Griffin for 1 hour. They needed more time, but that's all they could stomach. Agents in detox now. Huckabee Secret Service agents in detox after interviewing Kathy Griffin. What the hell? That was funny as hell. See these things here? The advertisements aren't showing, and you know what? I'm glad. Breaking: the true identity of the man who shot the NYPD officer has been revealed, and look who he is. On Wednesday night, an NYPD officer was fatally shot just after midnight. New shocking details have begun to emerge about the killer. Him. Alan B. West.com reports NYPD officer Miostotis Familia was shot fatally shortly after midnight Wednesday. While sitting in her, sorry, I didn't know it was a female. While sitting in her marked patrol vehicle, Familia, a mother of three, was transported to St. Barnabas Hospital, where NYPD officials later confirmed she died of her wounds. As NYPD officers mourn the death of their colleague, new details have begun to emerge about the attacker, in what police officers have called an unprovoked attack on cops. Alexander Bonds opened fire on the officers with a revolver. His name is Alexander Bonds. Shockingly, this was the first time Bonds had attacked police officers. Bonds served about 7 years in prison for a robbery in Syracuse and was paroled in May 2013, records show. Police officers initially said he had been arrested in 2013. Wednesday was not Bonds' first attack on a police officer. Okay, so it's not the Bonds' first attack on the police officer. Sources told the NY Daily News he previously assaulted an officer with brass knuckles before carrying out the attack. Bonds lashed out at the police. Bonds also recently spoke critically of the law enforcement on social media. The Daily Report notes he seemed to have had up to 6 different aliases. That means names. After the shooting, Bonds fled the scene, but was later fatally wounded in a shootout with police. Bonds was gunned down by responding officials, about a block from the shooting. He didn't make it far. Police said a revolver was found at the scene. Familia was a 12-year-old NYPD veteran. In addition to her years in law enforcement, Familia previously served her community as a nurse with the Red Cross. She was a graduate of John Jay College of Criminal Justice, previously attended Ohio State University School of Medicine. Tragically, she leaves behind 3 children. Her black life didn't matter to her killer. Because she was wearing blue. This post was authored by Michael Lee. Follow him on Twitter. Look which Kardashian just posted a revenge porn. Rob Kardashian and Block China had another dramatic falling out, this time involving explicit photos and allegations. Reclusive, keeping up with the Kardashian star, 30, took to Instagram on Wednesday to shame his ex-fiancée using an explicit photo of what he claims is her vagina that she allegedly sent to him in a text using, you know what? If that's true, he's a big jerk. I'm done. I'm off this. Breaking. It's official. Look who the Secret Service just paid a visit to. I've never watched one of the Kardashian shows, number one. Just saying. I'm just saying. And I'm glad I haven't. I know I wasn't missing anything now. Comedian Kathy Griffin has officially been interviewed by the Secret Service for a second time for her Trump decapitation stunt. Comedian Kathy Griffin was interviewed in person by the Secret Service for more than an hour over a controversial photo which she posed with a fake decapitated head resembling President Trump, according to the political reporter Yashar Ali. The Secret Service probe into Kathy Griffin is still open, Ali reported in a tweet. Any other celebrities want to do something stupid? Anything? Anyone? Any takers? Kathy Griffin was just interviewed by the Secret Service in person for over an hour. Investigation still not closed. Griffin's lawyer confirmed last month that the investigation had been open and that had intended to fully cooperate. Griffin apologized for the photo after sparking widespread outrage, saying she went too far and that she started getting death threats immediately. The comedian hinted last week that I hate calling her a comedian. She's not a comedian anymore. She's a terrorist. The terrorist hinted last week at the tensions around the Secret Service investigation when she tweeted a response to an article arguing TMZ is the media's most potent pro-Trump outlet, saying, "Hey TMZ and TMZ founder Harvey Levine, you may never be under Fed investigation like I am now." Yeah, that he won't. Hey, I don't give a F anymore, but the TMZ and Harvey Levine may you never be under a federal investigation like I am now. Go away, Kathy. Stay away, you're not funny anyway. We just discovered who helped sponsor the Gitmo Millionaire. This is, Omar Khadr and his family have been very close ties with Osama bin Laden. Yes, according to the Wikipedia, Khadr family hails from Canada and are linked to Al-Qaeda. See them? See the nice family? Killers? Khadr family is an Arab family living in Canada noted for their ties to Osama bin Laden and connections to Al-Qaeda. There's a terrorist that killed American Army medic Sergeant First Class Christopher Spears with an IED. I heard it was with a grenade. But man, that could be another story there. I do a lot of stories. Khadr admitted his crime in 2010 and was sent to Gitmo. When he was released in 2015, he sued Gitmo or whatever for $20 million for wrongful imprisonment. And he won $8 million. Canadian government. According to Khadr's journey, Khadr was pushed into the war by his father. Khadr's father, Ahmed, said briefly stayed with Osama bin Laden when Omar was a boy. Said later killed in a house, the father, by a Pakistan helicopter shell along with senior members of Al-Qaeda. The internet's furious. Look how they responded to CNN. Internet's not happy with CNN blackmailing a 15-year-old kid who produced a meme. President Trump retweeted, as a result of CNN's coercion, the internet community producing more anti-CNN memes at breakneck speed. Drink. Oh, wow. Oh, breakneck speed. Look how many were made. Oh, damn. I did not expect that. CNN tracked down the creator of a Trump wrestling meme and threatened him. Turns out he's 15 years old. This is now the internet's responding. Scoop, sources tell me there's a protest planned to be held in front of Kafil's home because he doesn't believe in privacy. CNN did nothing wrong. I deeply regret what I have done and thank CNN for their mercy. Oh, snap. POTUS, fake news. CNN is utterly devastated after being exposed to the world as complete frauds and deserve the humiliation. CNN will have to blackmail soon millions of patriots who make these gifts. I see no end in sight now.
Can't touch this.
Oh, don't.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
My, oh my music.
Can't touch this.
Give me that. In you go. Damn. CNN is trying to ruin the life of a guy. Kid, 15, because of a meme. You know what? Screw you, CNN. Here are some more memes. Yeah. Now, let's look how many Americans back President Trump's travel ban. Poll. Do we believe polls? No. If it says 60, it's more like 85, 90. 60% of majority of voters, including independents, back Trump's travel ban. Question wording and info matter. Despite months of litigation controversy, a new Politico morning consultant poll shows 6 in 10 voters support it. Suck on that, mainstream media. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed that episode of Not Fake News. Don't forget to share, subscribe, smash that like button. But remember, when you subscribe, you have to click the bell also. So you hit subscribe, then you hit the bell, check the little notification box if it asks you, and boom, you're in. You are then part of the resistance. If you're hearing this message, you are the resistance. See you later, folks.